Hi folks, Canadian Prepper here. So today's video is going to be just some musings about how you can move on in life if you find yourself in a situation that you feel is not serving you, whether it's a job that you don't like, whether it's a place that you're living in, maybe it's a relationship that's just not working out and you've tried a lot of things and it just doesn't seem to work. A lot of people, as I've heard it said before, will choose known hells over unknown heavens. If you find yourself in life in a situation where you don't want to leave out of fear that things may not work out for you, I would encourage you to have the strength to move forward in that decision, because there's nothing worse than being suspended at a certain level of the game. I'm going to use a couple simple metaphors to explain this concept. So in the Canadian education system, you go from grades 1 to 8, which is elementary school, and then of course you move on to high school. Now when you're in grade 8, you're in the top of the school. Doesn't even matter if you're a nerd, you're still a grade 8, nobody messes with you for the most part, except maybe a few other grade 8s. And then you go from being on the total top of the pyramid to being right down to the level of freshman in high school. So you go from one extreme of being the leader of the school to being on the total bottom of the pyramid in high school. But it's a necessary step that you have to take. You have to step down before you can get up. The same holds true for life. You may find yourself in a job which is just satisfactory in terms of paying your bills. You might not like the job. You might just be doing it because you're worried that if you were to take a chance on something else, that you might fail, or that opportunities might not present themselves, and that you wouldn't be able to pay your bills or whatever. Maybe it's a relationship that you've worked on, but it just doesn't seem like it's going anywhere. And we become dependent on our living conditions, the people around us, and this is not really healthy. As much as this is contradicting one of my last MGTOW videos where I was talking about how it's important to work things out, trivial things, there comes a point where you may be being held back by your friends, certain family members, like I said, occupations, careers that you're stuck in, places that you're living, whatever. And you have to step down before you can step up. Maybe it means downgrading, taking a step back before you can take those necessary 2 steps forward. Another analogy to explain this is in role-playing games. And with those games, basically what happens is you get experience points, and it's very much like life. In life, you gain a certain level of mastery at something, and then, law of diminishing returns kick in. You don't really learn much for a while, and then change happens, and then there's a learning curve again. Then you master that, and then you plateau again, and so on and so on. And the same thing happens in a video game, where essentially you're building up and building up and building up, and then you plateau. Then you build up and build up, and you plateau. Well, in those role-playing games, what tends to happen is that you're fighting these enemies, and let's say your guy's at a level 1. Well, when he's at level 1, the level 1 enemies are very difficult to beat. But right when he moves to level 2, the level 1 enemies aren't hard to beat, but because of that law of diminishing returns, meaning that you're killing a lot of these guys in order to get experience points, but you get less and less experience points because you've already done that. You've already been there. So in order to advance to level 3, you need to set new challenges for yourself. And I think what happens is people get comfortable at a certain level of the game because, once again, known hells are more appealing for most people than unknown heavens. People don't like risk. People don't like change. But when you can embrace change, when you can learn to run into change, when you can learn to not be avoidant in your behaviors and actually seek out that which you fear, seek out the challenges and embrace the challenges, embrace the pain. That is when you're going to grow and make progress in life. And the same holds true for survival situations, in the sense that there's going to come a point where you may have to let everything go. You may have your house burned down with all of your preparedness goods. What are you going to do? Are you going to wallow in despair? Or are you going to detach yourself from the materialistic aspect of it, be grateful that you're still alive, have faith in your ability to be resourceful, in your ability to have those skills that you've hopefully developed, the knowledge, and build your empire up again? Now, what I'm trying to promote in this video is not some new age law of attraction like mentality, which suggests that if you just, think positive thoughts and that you can do anything and be anything you want if you just work hard enough. For the most part, I believe that, but there's a lot of things that could derail that. Things could happen. Just because you give 110% every day of your life doesn't guarantee that you're going to be successful at something, but it drastically increases your chances. And chances are, if you are grinding every single day at whatever it is you do, chances are you're going to be a success at whatever it is you do. But it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of self-sacrifice. It takes a lot of discipline, not just to be the best prepper or survivalist, but to be a good, well-rounded human being who is prosperous and who can die with a clean conscience. So I want you to ask yourself then, what is it that is holding you back in your life? Is there something that you're reluctant to abandon for whatever reason, for whatever unknown reason that you feel you're not going to be able to manage? It could be a financial one, it could be an emotional one, it could be a physical one. And I want you to know that those are just thoughts in your head. Regardless of the probability, they're not reality. Reality and the future are not yet written, and you just never know what opportunities you're depriving yourself of by remaining in that situation. Thanks for watching. I hope that everybody out there stays safe this holiday season, and that as we approach the new year, we can pause and reflect on the things that we learned this year and set some goals for next year. Don't forget, you can simply show your support for the channel by liking, commenting, subscribing, and if you are so kind, sharing this video on other social media platforms. Thanks for watching Canadian Prep Pro.